네, DRX가
We are back after DRX versus KT game number 2. DRX got their revenge on KT roster. What was the key pick or concept of their comp?
쪽을 먼저 말씀드리면
I want to talk about KT first.
정말 아는 맛.
KT went with the taste that we know. Some of the consistent champs, Liz, Renekton, Zoe, MF, Leona. Everyone knows about the champ. Everyone knows about this comp, that this is really steady and safe. However, DRX, they took a step forward in game number 2 about let's show our mechanics. They tried to go with signature champions, Curious, Alistar, and Cassiopeia, and also Lee Sin from Pyosik. They got all the champs they want and they like.
보통은 이렇게 자기 하고 싶은 것만 하면 경기가 잘 안 풀리기
sometimes
마련인데
that kind of choice doesn't go right. So, in the early game, KT seemed like they were getting the lead. However, there was this moment where DRX was able to turn the game around. Keria, he already did a great work on top Kench in game number 1. However, his performance was on point. So the level difference between Keria and Tusin was critical as well. But Pyosik was able to zone out the champions, so 2 of the remaining champions were able to do damage freely in the backline. So Lyra said, this was one of the best skirmishes with listens in LCK. So it's raining in here on the Rift. Let's check out whose tier it's gonna be in the final series coming up later.
진짜 그 중심에는 진짜 캐리아 선수가 든든하게.
So once again, Keria was the pillar of DRX game today. Was it at first thought that Alista pick might not be so good. However, over here, he did not hesitate going in. He always went in to engage and stop their plays. So Alice was on top lane. So KT wanted to some kind of make a trade over there, but DRX fought back really well. And they earlier also could see that how well the players communicate in DRX. Then it's time to check out the POG for game 2. We see awards, we see Keria. First POG for support role.
더 어떻게 보면 활발하게 움직였던 것 같은데
was really active all around the map. However, he was never behind level.
그 아까 첫 번째 리뷰하면서 보여드렸던 장면에서 진짜 서포터 레벨 차이가 크게 작용하지 않았나.
Today, on the first highlight of the analyst task, we could witness why the level difference is so critical in each role.
캐리아 선수가 뭐 매번 잘하는 것 같아요.
Keria, not only this game, he is always showing a clutch performance, and also he did every possible best play as a support role in terms of vision, in terms of team fight, and also laning phase.
리라님이 얘기하시는 부분은 좀 빠지는 부분이 없다 이런 얘기인가요?
4 out of 12 voted for Keria. So some support players, they are specified having a very special ability in specific places in terms of roaming. Maybe some people are really good at laning phase. However, Keria is good at everything according to Lyra's opinion. Very meaningful POG going to the support role, and let's check out who's gonna take the match with the game number 3.
Thank you, Zisan, as always, for that wonderful translation. And after seeing the MVP, you know, right after I gave that vote to Quad, I was like, I don't know, Keria did really have a great game, so good to see him pick that one up. You don't get to see a support pick up the MVP every single time around. But take a look at this. Bono, after a relatively weak game number 2, will be subbed out, and Malrong is coming on in. And you have titled him the coin flip jungler.
He is, he's the Lord of the Sinners.
He really is.
He is literally Lord Sin. That is exactly...
From Final Fantasy X?
Was that a...
It's not Lord Sin.
Oh,
but it's-
Sin.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That might be him, actually.
Yeah, maybe it's him.
You know,
It makes so much sense.
what is it? The Calm? That's what they used to call it?
Yeah.
I guess it's ended. I guess he's back.
He's back.
Now he's in the LCK.
Calm doesn't really last that long anymore.
So, in case we're wondering why we're referring to him as a sinner, it is because he doesn't tend to farm. He just tends to run places and gank over and over and over. On Jin Air last year, it was insane. The amount of times that he would be down so many camps against the opposing jungler, or how long he would wait inside of rushes for ganks that really require the opponents to make mistakes, and that's how he plays. He doesn't play in a mathematical or a calculated way. It's a very peculiar, emotional approach to playing jungle, where he accounts for things before they happen, or before even his laners can make them happen. And even when he gets leads, he doesn't dial it back and try to then recalibrate his playstyle relative to his lead. He just kind of, oh, I got more items now, I'm going to gank more. And
it's
that's what tends to happen.
Yeah.
I had him, I was telling you before the break, when we found out he got subbed in, had him in a solo queue game the other day. He had 5 camps at 8.5 minutes.
Sounds about right.
You do the math.
There's
You do 3 on the initial clear. Okay, you finish that.
Hey, but you know, you need all that time for ganking the lanes. You need to be top, and then you go mid, and then maybe you can revisit top, and then maybe bot. And then by that time, 8.5 minutes, of course, has passed. No time to do camps unless. He's like that one drop in mono red that you come down, he like does 2 damage to face.
Yeah.
That's him.
He lives for it.
Well, we do have the final game of the night. Dragon X up against KT, hopping into pick ban. Once again, Dragon X on blue, KT on red. The colors make sense again. No more LeBlanc for Kuro. That's not going to happen again.
All right. Well, let's see if the Cassiopeia is actually going to end up biting the dust. Now, if Chovy's fine playing it up in top lane, and if Def's even willing to play it, they could even blind it to make sure that nothing ends up going awry there. Now, with Malrong coming in, honestly, I feel like the game is going to be decided in the first 15 minutes, regardless of whatever the team comps are going to be.
It's all about Malrong. And,
So-
yeah, I mean, Elise is one of his favorite picks to sin on.
Yeah.
He loves to gank the top lane on the Elise, and he will do a lane gank and go into the top lane brush. And if there's a ward there, he loses so much time, so
Yes.
much farm. But if there's not, then there's a chance he can get the kill. Very coin flippy. Looks good when it works out.
Dragon X banning the set. They don't want it, which is
They're
I
winning
mean,
your heart right now.
they really are.
They don't want to
actually.
first pick it, so they're banning it away.
Yeah. Realizing that maybe it would be stronger on red side.
Yeah, ooh.
But- We're getting some action here.
Who would have
As
thought?
Lee Song.
What?
What?
Lee Sangers?
Yeah.
Lee Singed?
Are they just going to B1 Cassio or B1 Ornn? B1 Ornn is pretty good. Chovy can play Ornn. He can play him up in top lane. He's played him in mid lane a few times.
Or
And
Aphelios.
Aphelios, even though MF is up as well, no one really likes Senna. I don't know why.
Nobody seems to like Senna
Well,
tonight.
I mean, Afrika
tonight.
did play. Yeah, well, okay. Nice save there tonight.
Was it? I thought it was Gen G. Or not. Yeah, Gen G played it.
Afrika also spams it.
Oh,
And yeah.
okay. See,
Also,
I thought that it was Mystic on Ash.
UCal has played so much mid Senna, and that's the other very bizarre thing, is Senna is a flex pick.
Yeah.
Able to go mid lane, able to go AD, able to go support, and yet we're seeing none of her inside of this.
Take a look at this. They're like, please don't ban my aggressive junglers anymore. I will pick Jarvan. Jarvan right off the bat. And MF, as you mentioned, still available. Very obvious pick. That does come in next.
And are they just going to lock in the Kindred?
I saw the coach go over to Pioshik before, and he asked him a question, and Pioshik gave a very confident just nod. And I wonder if that meant, you know, you want to play some Kindred. Or Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai getting locked in as a vacuum counter to the Jarvan. Nautilus also being hovered right now. Mostly picked for his ultimate. And no,
wow.
They're going to do it again. Cassiopeia.
And this time, it's not red third pick. It's not R3.
Yeah,
so
and it's going to walk into a bit of a rough matchup here. So now the question becomes, can Chovy pilot it up in top lane?
Yes.
And then maybe a Syndra counter pick can end up coming in. Thresh being banned away. Kennen is banned away, which I'm trying to think what that could possibly mean.
R-Trox.
You need to stop right now.
B-Trox.
It's T-Rox. The A's are silent.
B-Trox is his less successful younger brother.
Yeah, that's his... yeah, that's his forgotten...
B-Trox, yeah.
Yeah.
He does b-boying in his off time.
I do believe that to be true, so...
Yeah.
Ornn,
okay.
now banned away. Ornn actually doesn't have... Well, Ornn is really good here, but he doesn't have the best Ornn items to give his teammates. As Cassio doesn't normally tend to rush Death Cap. We did see Faker do it earlier on. But normally Cassiopeia, Seraph's Embrace, Leandri's, Rylai's, Banshee's Veil. There's not many Ornn items that she tends to gravitate towards. And now Taric.
Taric, Master Yi. No, not gonna happen. That is a solo queue thing. We're hovering a lot of champions that LS doesn't like. But we have Moo. Oh. No.
Alright, it will be the Alistar.
Yeah. I mean, when you earn the Pog.
I'm trying... Alright, so they banned away Rumble, they banned away Kennen. No way.
Yes.
Please. Come on.
Trox. All right, LS, have a good night. I will see you maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
I'll take over the casting from here. You don't have to worry about that. You can just go home.
All right. Well, let's see what the final pick is going to be. I mean, there's a million different options that you can choose here. It looks like they want to do the Camille. Irelia is another option here against this team, but obviously Camille has a few more options available in terms of the split push and just overall the mobility, because Camille can go over walls, be a little bit more slippery. Not that Irelia can't go over walls with the Blade Surge, but...
What about Fiora?
Fiora, Fiora a little bit
less
more vulnerable to the Aatrox than the other two.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Fiora was like that big blind, or not blind, counter pick that Khan was always picking.
It was a really interesting. It's a really interesting dynamic where Fiora is favored if both players don't really know the if both players don't really know the matchup, and if the Aatrox weak. But if you're really, really high level, it's slightly Aatrox favored. And so it's a really
Sounds
interesting
like Zoe
shift.
versus LeBlanc.
Yeah, actually, that's a very beautiful comparison, Valdez.
I'm on top of it. Yeah, that was one we saw a lot last year.
Hello,
actually.
Valdez.
I came to play tonight. As did Syndra. First game of Syndra coming in here for the night. I do have to mention, I believe it has been played so far at the LCK, but Kuro on a third unique champion in a row. has had 2 great performances in a row, 1 winning, 1 losing, but not because of him. So we'll see if he can do it, if Tucson can have a better game on his Leona this time around, and if KT with Malrong new into the jungle here for game 3, can he make a difference?
Here is what... All right, so I have... Let me lay out some predictions. Okay? Just a couple.
Okay.
Red into mid or top gank by Jarvan. Or...
Okay, that's extreme.
Red to blue to bot or mid gank for Jarvan. Or blue to red to mid or top gank. So one of those 3 variants.
Okay.
I feel like we have above a 50% chance to see.
So 3 different variants.
Yeah.
Above
If he does
50%.
any 3 camp or 4 camp before doing anything, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something has changed.
He's been a changed jungler.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, didn't we see him at the Kespa Cup and he kind of did the same thing?
Listen.
I don't know if he's a changed jungler. And that's kind of what you're saying as well. Also,
I don't like that. Well, it's a little bizarre. Kuro, he has minion dematerializer on Syndra. And so opting into the inspiration tree is a bit bizarre. Normally, with Electrocute and the sustain and whatnot, you can get so much value out of having the Mana Flow Band as well as the Gathering Storm or the Transcendence.
yes.
So I feel like the Electrocute inspiration is much less common. Rune Choice says we are getting a very heavy trade down here.
Yeah. You don't often see Exhaust used that early on, but Keria... Okay. All right. Okay, LS. It was red straight into mid. There was no hesitation, no Krugs or any of that nonsense. How about going for his enemy red and hoping that there's no one here? And, well, the enemy's here.
The Sand Gambler lives on.
Oh, he won it! The coin flip! We've landed on 0. Big money here for Malrong.
I'm not gonna make it.
We knew what to expect from this guy. He's not disappointing.
He is sinning so much right now.
He's puffing on his cigar while he's sitting at the roulette table. He's like, hell yeah, 0. I knew it.
Oh my god.
안돼요 나폴은 얘 이래 멸롬 아이고 먹었다 내가 먹었어요 얘 뭐야 쓸모없네
He's saying that he didn't have smite because he got it with the burn. So initially he complained about the HP of the red being left at 5, but then he ended up getting it and he said, okay, I ate it.
Yeah, he was very surprised that he was able to get it. It's not his first time at the roulette
He's trying to
table.
gank again.
It's not his first rodeo. He's been here before. He didn't have much luck at the roulette table, so now he's moved over to Baccarat.
He's in really close proximity to the Raptor camp or the Scuttle Crab. Where do you think he's going? Might be top lane.
He's unsure. He's like, he was thinking about going mid, but then he saw Rek'Sai, so he's like, oh, okay.
All right, he's on the Golem camp.
He's looking good. Finally, he's getting some farm.
You want to know something I recently actually discovered on Atrox after some experimentation and having some pros run it.
Okay.
I do think Trinity Force is the better item on him than Black Cleaver. You can actually...
Seems like that's happening a lot.
Yeah, so the idea of it, obviously I've talked about it with Set ad nauseum, but in most cases, the enemy...
Set?
Well, I've talked about it a lot about Set.
Oh, okay.
Because Set has appeared a lot.
I thought you were talking with Set,
So,
having a conversation.
Black Cleaver on targets that are only going to have 80, 90 armor essentially is giving you the same 10 as a lethality item in most cases. But Trinity Force, the Spellblade procs, is going to outdeal what the Black Cleaver Shred is going to grant you throughout the extended trade of teamfights, but also if you start fighting other champions. And then all the other stats from the attack speed. Hold on, we might have a solo kill by Chovy, but
Yeah,
the attack speed, the movement speed, everything that the Triforce grants you, it gives you different mix-ups on a lot of the Black Cleaver champions, and it's really, really powerful. And so when we're seeing something like Grasp, which was not common at all, I don't know what else we could maybe see in terms of itemization out of Aatrox, because Grasp isn't even that bad here. There is primarily only squishies on the enemy team, except for Tank Jarvan, I would assume, is what Malrong's going to go, that Chovy should be looking to go for.
Well, I mean, how much more expensive is Trinity Force over Black Cleaver?
700.
700.
So about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's two long swords.
Yeah, it's
right?
not that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'll come online a little bit faster with the Black Cleaver, but
yes,
at the end of the day, like, it's not online fast enough to make too much of a difference. Especially if the game is looking to go like over 30 minutes, which it usually does in Korea. So definitely an interesting thing. I think a lot of testing is required and good for changing things up. Malrong's back again. Welcome back. He's got his friend Tucson, who has flashed in, and well, you're dead. First blood, Kuro picking up the big-time kill with the Czar button. Nicely done.
And
Press
Quad
that button.
now, also, he doesn't have teleport right now. And so he's going to miss out on the minion wave as well. Kuro going to go up in the XP department, also up 9 CS right now. Lost chapter complete with boot. This is going to be really rough for Cassio, especially with that blue buff. Going to be coming up soon, as both junglers just hit level 5 at the same exact time. You take a look at this again, and you have to wonder,
wait, what?
What is Quad doing playing in that pocket of the lane that far up?
He just saw Tucson clear the ward, and it was pink.
It really makes absolutely no sense, so, you know, I really can't defend him there, Valdez, but
yeah,
Quad's going to get the blue now, but there's no way really for Pyoshik to make a gank happen anywhere. And, you know, one of the things that I didn't get to talk about loading in was which team is inevitably going to end up scaling better. If this game goes long enough, the Camille will eventually just start doing Camille things. And there is enormous amounts of wave clear from the Syndra and the MF, enormous amounts of reach as well with the Leona and the Syndra, which opens up a lot of avenues for pick potential in the mid and late game transition. So even though Soan right now is, I mean, he's getting, he's having a little bit of a rough time up there against Chovy. He's down 21 CS. But if this game goes long enough, that Camille will come online. She will start doing things. We'll have to see what ends up happening. So, also interesting to note, Chovy with the Warhammer first item, not the Kindle Gem for the CDR in HP.
Yeah, does pick that one up. We'll have to see what he does eventually go into. He's got the most experience in the game. Kuro is the only one really challenging for that. Going in now onto Keria. Tucson going to get bopped towards the turret. Malrong hasn't come in yet. It's just a 2-on-2. Able to pick up that kill straight up. Was the bottom lane here from KT. Malrong just a spectator, essentially. And now after that pickoff, they are going to move on to the Infernal Drake, being picked up here at 9 minutes. Relatively late, so they do pick this one up here, and KT off to a nice start.
They are going to get the Infernal. And the second one of the game is going to be Ocean, which means that we could have a bad news bear. Cloud Soul. That could be the final Drake.
Aww.
And let's just take a look at this. So, Keria, he gets stunned up. MF Ultimate comes out. Tushin able to follow, and then Keria trying to follow as well.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
You got to know the cooldown on the Leona Q.
Yep.
And that's really what got him into... Like, he was out of range, and he wasn't going to die. But then he moved close enough to get stunned by the Leona Q and get ignited. So that's the only reason why he died. definitely a bit of a mistake there from Keria after a player of the game performance in game 2.
Well, Deft and Keria just continuing to try to shove in this lane. As KT, they're looking to make another play happen, but Pyoshik, with that sweeper lens, able to see exactly what was going on. There is a level discrepancy in top lane.
Ooh.
As Soan is gonna lose.
He's getting bullied.
He's gonna lose the cannon. This is an absolute evisceration up here in top lane. So, if you want to see how Chovy managed to do this, you can purchase the LCK Pro View.
Yeah.
Definitely. You know, so
Is that available to?
I do believe it is available. So yeah, if you get the LCK Pro View Pass, you too can actually see how Chovy managed to orchestrate this absolute destruction up in the top lane from his perspective.
Yeah, but LS, I feel like you... Oh, nice little bullet time there onto Def. That's going to easily push him out of the lane. Had Marong nearby. But, it's going to smartly back away. LS, I feel like you've done enough OPGGs to know that people are not going to look at replays of pros. They are just going to play 500 games and stay in gold. That is the way that...
you don't have to stay in gold if you just play Annie. Okay. Also, she got a visual update.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did in the last patch, I believe. I haven't personally seen it.
Well, you don't play Annie?
She's terrible.
What? What do you mean?
Hot mic, hot mic.
What? Didn't I tell you that mute button doesn't work? Oh, man. Good old Annie.
All right, well. You know the funniest thing. So I always talk about how... Never mind. Okay. It's fine.
All right. Okay.
Joke is a little tasteless. I will refrain from that one. As Ocean Drake, coming up in 2 minutes, spot lane, just going to shove in this last wave. And likely going to recall after that. Pyoshik just trying to clear out this Raptor. Kuro,
It's on vision.
yeah, couldn't get the W off, or maybe didn't have it. As Marong, here he comes. Now, I think Chovy is strong enough to... Well, let's see. World Ender comes out.
He's not going anywhere now. Do they have the damage? Flashes away. And now they should know. Okay, they're going to continue. Well, Marong wanted to, but Soan just said, okay, thank you. I'll push the lane now. And that was the end of that. Chovy able to get away.
He's walking up in the lane, beginning to CS again. Still ways away is Sohan from his Trinity Force, but also, likewise, because Chovy went for the Warhammer, he is going to be a bit delayed on getting that Black Cleaver. And another interesting thing about this is it's really big that Aatrox was able to get so far ahead of the Camille, because that will stagger how long KT needs to start getting that Camille online, and until she actually becomes a viable win con that they can start actually using.
Tucson here going pretty deep. You got Pyoshik coming in as well, and he might just bite the dust. Solar flared himself. Maybe that's a bit of symbolism as to how he feels about his play tonight on the Leona. It has not been clean, to say the least. He saw Philios, he was like, I'm going in, and Leona Syndrome is quickly becoming a thing that I have said more than once for Tucson tonight.
Ooh.
Got him.
I really like those. You see Syndra's balls? They look like Ghost in Pokemon Blue and Red.
Ghost?
I think it's Ghost. You know the random encounter in Sabrina's?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't it look like that?
Yeah.
I think I just brought everyone back.
In Lavender Town.
Yes.
In the building.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Tushin solar flares himself, maybe thinking that Pyoshik would go into it and then get hit. But
oh, Tushin.
all right.
This time maybe
miasma.
No, I'm like this time maybe he's pulling a 400 IQ move. No, that's not it.
This is truly a series of the supports.
It has, you know, Tushin has made it one. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know what else to say. I can't lie to you guys. This is not pretty.
I'm gonna start calling him Too Sin. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You get it?
yeah,
Yeah.
too much sin
Fun
for us to
unintentional,
handle.
but we really walked right into that one.
Yeah. To sin or not to sin. It's a very easy decision for Tucson. And, yeah, I mean, he's definitely the biggest sinner so far in the series. Even more so than Malrang.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is
it's-
impressive.
Like, this is hard to pull off.
Malrang is actually keeping up with the enemy jungler in terms of CS, so that is a bit interesting.
All right, good flash there from Kuro, and Tucson decides, okay, now it's my time.
And the other thing here, yeah, you know, we're gonna let that happen.
Cal go into the bush. He's like, he waits 5 seconds. He's like, okay, you must be gone now. He goes in. No, Carrier's waiting. Of course he is. Well, we'll hope that Tucson can, I don't know, change things up here a little bit, as it has not been too pretty so far. Carrier has been winning the support battle. The top battle heavily going the way of Chovy.
And well, even gold, actually, identical
Yeah.
right now, which is a pretty rare sight here. Chovy is absolutely massive. I'm really curious how many grass procs Chovy has. That would be a really interesting stat to get to see, but
Yeah.
it's not seem like there's going to be a way to actually figure that out.
Not just yet.
And we are in a this is a special kind of level stage. This is something else.
Next level.
Yeah. You watching LEC later? It's on tonight.
You know, my sleep schedule has been so normal, which is abnormal for a gamer or an esports person.
Okay.
Mo-
that
most
doesn't
of us-
answer the question, Valdez. You watching LEC later?
That's what I'm trying to build up my excuse to make it, you know, a little bit more interesting than just say, like, no.
I'm planning to. Oh, hold on.
Oh, they found someone who's not Tucson! This time it's going to be Carrier. Malrang swings wide. Deft threw his ultimate under the terrain. That looked a little bit funny. Might want to fix that one. Either way, it does land, and nobody dies. Anyway, about LEC. Yeah, I'm going to sleep at like 11 o'clock every night. It's weird. I wake up at 7 to 8.
I don't even want to.
Going to the gym in the morning. It's really weird.
Okay. Whatever, Valdez.
Are you watching LEC tonight?
Yes.
Are you streaming?
Of course. I can't coach stream it, but webcam timer that I'm always late on. But and then tomorrow night, LCS and LEC and LCK.
Oh, that
I'm
sounds
going
like
for
fun.
I'm going for the triple crown.
I don't know if you're gonna win any of them though by doing all three.
What? Of course I am.
It'll be like the triple.
We just got word from, or I just got word from G-Sun that Chovy has 7 grass stacks currently. So they only procced it on 7 times.
Thank you, G-Sun.
Thank you, G-Sun.
it's very kind of you. Yeah, I mean I suppose that makes sense. They've been skirmishing, and I feel like the observers caught it every single time. And most of the time, Soan has kind of just been hanging around.
So when games like this end up transpiring, where we've had 4 kills in 20 minutes, what's going to end up happening is it's going to climax over one team fight, and that one team fight will cause a domino effect where several turrets will fall, Baron's going to be captured, we're going to have a 5k gold swing in one direction, all summoners expended, maybe an inhibitor ends up following 2 minutes after that, and then repeat the lull state one more time.
Okay.
And then one more Baron, and then the game.
You forgot to mention how Tucson was going to die again. I really don't know what's going on with this guy tonight, to be honest, guys. That's his
Why
third
is he
death.
there?
So he went in to clear a Rek'Sai tunnel, and they saw him, and they engaged on him. So it's almost like he's getting unlucky with the positioning of the enemy. It's like they're always in the right spot to kill him. I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Not really quite sure either.
He's building a stone plate. We're almost there. Maybe he can survive. You know, it'll be him against 4 people, so he gets the extra buff, and it'll help him out. This does mean that Dragon X, they get the bottom turret, and the Drake feels like a slow burn here for KT.
It definitely does. And we are ways away from the soul, Valdez. We are
10 minutes?
10 minutes
maybe,
away from a soul.
approximately.
Well, we gotta add in some time to capture.
Give or
it,
take
too.
30
Yeah, so
seconds.
maybe 17 minutes from an Elder. So we're looking at a 38. Well, no, we're probably looking at a 40-minute finish here.
Yeah.
Right on time.
Gotta give a little bit of time.
Yes.
For, you know, the Baron dance.
Right now, I mean,
where they eventually kill
the items, everyone's just playing ping pong with the waves.
Someone's getting more strong now that he has Trinity Force.
Yes, he is getting stronger. Death Stance almost completed for the Aatrox. Random fight. What is actually going on?
What is going on? That's a nice little Cataclysm, but they don't really have the follow-up in terms of damage, as Kuro also wasn't really able to land much. Oh, nice follow-up there from Pyosik. Taking names, taking down Kuro. And now Zoan, he has his Trinity Force, but he doesn't have anyone to back him up. As down he will go. And there you have it, 6-2, and that might just be Baron.
And so this is it. This is the climax of the game, Valdez, where we're gonna have one explosive team fight. Now, depending on what way it goes, Baron would go down. Now a couple of turrets, one inhibitor, and then we're gonna have a dance again. And then the next Baron, that'll be the game decider.
Okay.
So that's the script.
Good solar flare to start things off. Just wanted to, you know, good start.
Cataclysm was actually a pretty decent Cataclysm, and then from here, I don't know what Kuro is doing. Just walking way too far forward for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And he pulled his entire team into this. They easily could have backed off. And for a team composition,
이 컷이지.
수영.
나 강타할게 이거.
should have
하나
left.
맞춰줘. 나 스마할게 이거 강타 맞춰줘.
Come on, 형.
이거 없네.
And at this point, KT is now going to be on the back foot. Baron on the side of Dragon X. 2.5 minutes until the next dragon ends up coming up. But honestly, it's not that meaningful. It's just very bizarre to see KT voluntarily have opted into that fight and then tried to re-engage needlessly over. Even if Kuro could kill one player, it's only going to be a couple hundred gold, which is not going to decide the game.
Well, 300.
Well, it depends who he kills. Bonus gold.
True. Could be more. There'll definitely be more than a couple. But, yeah, I mean, it's not really going to matter too much. Now with Baron coming on in, Malrong, he's going to be caught out here. Pyosik is the king of the jungle for this game. Carry up is he killing what looks like 3 wards. Gets 2 of them. The matchup here up in the top lane has not amounted to any more kills onto Sohan. Slowly trying to get his items. Carrier forced to ultimate as he went very deep into the enemy jungle.
And it's just a slow and steady execution. Leandri's Torment going to be coming in next on Cassiopeia. And Chovy trying to raise this top turret. Flashes out of that engage by Sohan. Casts the World Ender as well. He looks like a giant moth.
Yeah, you said that before.
Yeah.
He kind of is. Those are supposed to be wings, but they don't.
Oh, is this like an ode to the Mothman?
Yeah, it
You
must
know,
be.
Mothman prophecies?
Yeah.
Great.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? You never watched
the
that movie?
Mothman?
With Richard Gere?
No. No, oh yeah, the Mothman prophecies. sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. Good response time out of Toby. I mean, he's really on his game up in the top side. Saw them on the ward, and he got out of dodge real quick.
And that was the extent of the Baron. So
Yeah.
3 turrets ended up being captured.
I wonder what it feels like to be a KT fan. You guys remember game 1?
Yeah, I remember game 1. And then someone got excited.
It was looking good. And then someone said they were getting excited. I don't remember who that was. And then it really just turned on its head.
I think it was G-Sun.
Yeah, it was probably G-Sun.
It was probably G-Sun.
Thanks, G-Sun.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
Thanks.
5 seconds now until the Cloud Dragon is up. That'll just be a relatively easy pickup. If KT takes the team fight, they're going to lose the game. And they should acknowledge that it's not the end of the world if they lose one more Cloud Dragon. It's not the soul. Nothing's really going over. They should just bide their time for more core items and not overextend on the map as Kyria trying to get onto Soan,
Yeah.
but now KT is forked.
Yeah, able to get that position in the mid lane. Not gonna push onto the inhibitor just yet. Waiting on that one. Stun is going to fall short. It's kind of like Chovy boxing out 5 members and then the rest of Dragon X just moving in to take out a turret.
It's going to be the Cloud Dragon picked up. Mid inhibitor is exposed, which now, depending on lane states, or minions on the map, depending on when fights end up taking place, it can just result in the end of the game. Depending on how clean of an ace Dragon X could maybe be able to achieve. Soan down 2 levels, as he is not going to push this cannon wave. He's valuing the reset. Maybe he has Ravenous Hydra. He does. Also picks up 2 control wards for himself. And Fiendish Codex on Cassiopeia, probably going to just be a Zanya's rather than a Banshee's Veil, so that if Jarvan does try to Cataclysm on, or mid-Syndra ultimate, or even Solar Flare, has something that can definitely be used.
Yeah. I wonder, did Faker build any of those defensive items as his like 4th item? I remember he got Seraph's Death Cap and Spellbinder. I feel like that could have helped a bit. He had
Against
his
the Soraka comp?
Yeah.
Nothing
Against the
else
Olaf
that.
Pain Train.
The Pain Train? Was
Yeah.
that a thing back in the day? I'm not like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right. I've definitely heard it before.
Okay. At this point, Baron is now up. Dragon X should just be able to get the Baron. And with that, it should be the end of the game.
Will there be a contest? Is the next question. They should know that Alistair is in here. They're trying to stun him down. And not going to get the knockout. Malrong was pretty close, actually flashing on in there on good timing. Has stopwatch. Now it's 5-on-4. But a big-time root from Aphelios keeps Tucson and aiming out of the fight. And now Soan is all alone. Kuro too low on mana. And they cannot follow this up. You see Dragon X looking for more. Tucson is going to go wide there. Piosik not exactly sure why he flashed to the left. Either way, Dragon X able to pick up the Baron. It's a 1-for-1, and they got the jungler. Definitely more valuable than the support in this case.
And I wonder if they're actually just going to try to end here? No? The defensive pings end up coming out. And they will just play it super careful. Probably just going to try to go through bot lane now. Maybe do a 1-0 core. As we take a look at this again, Kyria, he gets locked up.
Oh, looked early from Malrong.
Goes into the team. He ends up being brought down. Malrong, like you pointed out, he was really close on the steal. It was a valiant effort. And then the rest of KT just had to hightail it out of there. So in the end, it was a 1-for-1, but Baron
Oh, he was trying to protect Death,
Yeah,
I guess.
Tushin was trying to int again. Was what that was.
He's like, take me with you.
Oh my god.
I'm going in. All right, they're going to lock down Chovy here. Kuro's nearby. Didn't look like the stun landed, but they will pick up the kill. It's 700 gold now for So-On. If the game goes for another 10 or so minutes, there is still a small chance that KT could pull this one back. They get that big shutdown onto that big moth guy. Forget his name now. Trox.
Trox, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. There it is.
Yeah. What is your favorite name for him?
I like Ayaya Trox.
Okay, I like that too.
Yeah. That was one of the ones that I was spamming.
As Chovy, he just got locked up in the Hextech Ultimatum right there, as he even burned his flash at the very end. So, yet another potential lull state on the horizon. 30 seconds remaining on the Baron buff. And honestly, this keeps getting scarier and scarier because the champions on KT are getting more valuable as time goes on. Cassiopeia, she does tend to go all the way to 6 items. Now, the question I have for you, Valdez, is if you're in a situation like this, you're looking at the itemization on KT, what boots do you get if you're quad here?
What? What? I like the brown bags. Just keep them a whole game.
All right.
That's my favorite kind of boots on Cassiopeia.
You passed. I figured I had to put you to the test one time.
It was getting a little bit slow in the game, you know. I just thought you'd test me out a little bit. I appreciate that.
I had to check your mental state.
Yeah,
you know, do a wellness check.
Straighten me up just a little bit. Check your posture, by the way. we got a split push coming in here. It's actually working really well. For So-On, nobody responded to this for way too long. Now, there is the Dragon Soul that will go the way of Dragon X. I don't think KT were fooling themselves by thinking they would deny that. So-On was able to take out an inhibitor turret on the top side. If you get a big enough wave pushing in, and you are able to deny backs from the enemy team, who knows? Push in there and end the game. That's one of the powers of Camille on the split push.
And also, Atrox having the World Ender. I want to see how fast he moves when he ends up casting it, or even Cassiopeia. It's going to be really interesting. As we're taking it slow and steady. I mean, remember, what did I say? I said 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Would be the, right.
Yeah.
So we are right on time.
By the way, you're right on time for the Elder. Exactly right.
Thank you.
Wow.
I told you, I got really sick and tired of just casting these games blind, so
you had to
I had
open
to
up
steal
the
the
script.
script again, yeah. I haven't used it since
G-Sun's
summer.
going to be so angry.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, look at this. Trying to wombo combo, and Carrier says no. Big time able to win this fight here for Dragon X. Going to pick up a kill now onto Tucson. Balrog not able to flag and drag out. That looks kind of strange, as the flag was pretty close by. Nearly survives the poison there with his nice little shield at the end.
Ooh.
Dragon X.
Are they? No.
No, not yet. They're waiting.
This really feels like one person is constantly dissenting. The way that, you know, it's like they're in an argument with each other. All right, they're just going to get the top inhibitor.
If there were 5 there, I wonder if they could have just zoned them out, but definitely the safer play to come up top, take this down, go take Baron.
Wait for Baron.
Yeah. I mean, they read the script too, and nobody's really deviating. Oh, wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
Tushin's up. Oh.
And apparently, the inhibitor's up again, so they're going to take this one out too. So that's what they were waiting for. If I had looked at my handy inhibitor timers down there on the bottom right above the mini-map.
Yeah, and those are actually really good times to have them go down. It's not like, you know, it's not like one is about to respawn and then the other just got taken, because that makes it a lot easier to defend from. But when you have 2 coming in at the same exact time, it's obviously a lot more pressure. But in the same sense, it's also a lot more relief if you are KT and you do manage to make it the full duration, Feels a lot better when both respawn at the same time. Lets you juggle the side lanes a lot better. Take a look at this replay. The bullet time gets told to shut up real quick as Kyria dives on in there. Tushen is, I mean, something is going on in this game, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's...
You know what Tushen is an anagram for?
What's that?
Int us.
No! Oh no!
I just,
The poor guy, you just ended him right there. How could you? It does. I mean, it was in his name the whole time. How didn't we see it?
oh man.
Quad's being jumped on here. And he's still got Zonya's. There it is. Waits until the last second. And he is going to go down in the end anyway, but it's a 1-for-1. Tushen dies again. Bullet time desperately. And that is not going to work out for the side of KT. They're too far behind. They're up against that Cloud Soul. A bunch of fast boys now pushing on in to end the game here. 13-5 might be our ending score unless Sohan wants to help us out here. And push it on in. Well, he's going to try to get away there at the end. And that should be the end of game 3 of the series. Dragon X gonna take a while to take this one out, but they will take down KT in 3 games. As, yep. There you go. GG. Well done. Dragon X came out a bit slow. They are a young team, keep in mind, guys, so they're not the most incredibly experienced. There will be some hiccups along the way.
And, I mean, if you're Dragon X, you can feel good about the win, but there's definitely a lot to work on. Very clearly, they take a very long time to win in advantageous states of the game. And fortunately for them here today, they had Chovy in the top lane, and he did a really good job lane kingdoming Sohan both games. Quad getting his Cassiopeia 2 games in a row. Some very peculiar positioning in game number 2 led to him dying at that one point. Questionable game 1 draft, although it wasn't that bad. It's just they didn't play to anything that it was designed to do and couldn't achieve it. And so in that regard, definitely a bit interesting. But they managed to bring it back, game 2 and game 3. But still much to be desired, as this series alone did not quite live up to the hype or expectation that I think many people had for the Dragon X roster, but it's only week 1.
Still a lot of time. Wow. Jessic is looking pretty embarrassed, thinking about what kind of pose to do. And now he's like, I've had enough. I've had enough of the cameras. Take me away. I just play League of Legends. One of our very young players here on the Dragon X lineup. He'll get used to the cameras eventually. So Chovy was also asked to put on a nice little pose, gave us the V. And, yeah, everybody looks pretty happy on the side here. Kyria as well.
Yeah. Now, honestly, both supports this game were... it was not their series all around.
Yeah, well... I mean, Kyria looked good.
Well, Kyria did look good. In game number 2, there was some questionable stuff going on. But again, gotta keep stating, it is week 1. And this roster is really new and thrown together. Def now playing with a new support.
Yeah.
Chovy playing top lane when it's normally the mid laner. Quad coming in. And Pyoshik, his debut here in LCK, keeps doing poses or something. I don't know.
Keeps doing this wink and nod thing. Cameras are loving him.
And KT now, they're going to start, though, their week 1 down 0-2. Both went to 3 games, though, and had it been best of 1, KT would be 2-0.
Yeah.
So,
fortunately, it's not best of 1.
yeah.
I do not like best of 1. But KT does. I'm sure Kuro would as well. Absolutely bopped face in game 1.
we take a look, this was where Quad
Zeus
was
looked
up
so good in the
about
beginning.
400 range too much on the right side of the lane.
Yeah. And I remember when Tucson roamed for a nice timing the mid lane and came down to the bottom side, got a great 2-on-2 kill.
This was the solar flare.
And then he's
A
like,
true light flash before your eyes.
yeah. Yeah. He's, right after that happened, he's like, get me out of this game.
And well, this is just the highlight of this game again. This was Kuro.
He had vision.
He not only did he have vision, this was the point where I basically said that even if you get a few hundred gold, it's not as valuable as just ensuring that nothing can go wrong.
Yes.
This was the Baron that Malrong almost managed to steal. And honestly, credit to him this game. He was much more controlled, and for all of his lanes basically bleeding, he actually managed to stay relatively stable this time around, even though he was sinning in the beginning.
Yeah, he was.
He definitely had his hand in the cookie jar and his foot.
Oh.
I don't know where that goes, but it's a big jar.
It's a lot of cookies. He's going for them. Well, I mean, he got a couple, but by the end of it all, not really much he could do. Jarvan players know. You'd be in this spot where your team's behind. You engage, you die. You don't engage, you're useless.
미드라인 더, 미드라인 더. 미드로 끝낼래? 미드로 끝낼래?
가자.
Mid.
아, 진짜. 나 영택이. 수영이 너무 잘했어. 진짜 미안하다.
Quad is like, I'm really sorry.
나 때문에 미안하다, 그동안. 근데 초반에 그 바텀 쪽으로 그냥
Or, you know,
그랬다.
that time where I was kind of hinting in the game. I suppose that's the early game where he was very out of position a couple of times. Chovy able to take most damage in the game. I believe he won the majority of the MVP votes on top of it all.
Yeah, Chovy had a phenomenal performance here tonight, so definitely really nice to see him up there in the top lane. It would be really exciting, actually, to see Chovy up in top lane go against the Elite 3, because we all know that Red's the real final boss.
Yes.
You know, so.
Red from Pokemon. And, I mean, he looks good against Soan, but at the end of the day, Kyoshi is going to pick up the MVP here. And, you guys remember this moment where he found Tucson? That was a good moment. I remember that moment. How about this moment where he found Tucson after Keria engaged? Oh, look at that knockup! Wow, great job there. Big fan. Oh, he knocked him up again. Good. And yeah, that's what we get to see from Piosik's MVP, or sorry, his POG, his play of the game. And yeah, well voted, guys, well voted. So we'll be hearing from Pyosik on the stage. We'll see what he has to say very quickly here, as he will be alongside of Keria. Can't believe I forgot. Great game on the Alistair there in game number 2. And yeah, will be cool to see what they have to say with Jason on the mic, translating for that interview that's about to start in just a moment.
And remember, it's Ji-sun's fault that she got excited for KT, so...
Yeah, so
네,
thanks,
DRX가
Ji-sun.
시즌 첫 경기 승리로 장식했습니다.
Thank you very
오늘
much,
POG
guys.
선수죠.
This
캐리아
is
선수,
Jason
표식 선수
with
보실게요.
translation,
안녕하세요.
and let's hear the POGs.
네,
for match 2.
롤파크에서 경기
Pyosik and
한
Keria.
기분이 어떤지
So
먼저
how was your
여쭤볼게요,
first
캐리아 선수.
match at Low Park like?
원래 지금까지 롤파크에
Up until now, it was my dream to play on Low Park stage. I'm really happy that I performed well and picked up the POG.
오늘 출전하면서
First POG onto the support role, and for you as well. Did you feel like it coming? After that game, in the waiting room, I kept asking, who's the POG, who's the POG? And they told me, we don't know yet, but finding out that I'm the POG, I was very happy. Pyosik, your dream is also came true, meeting Mina Kim. Yeah, having this interview with you was my dream. You got the POG in your first match. How do you feel right now?
좋네요, 그냥 뭐.
Happy? Good, good.
또 좋다는 말 말고는 생각이 안 날 정도로 좋은 거죠.
Well, it was extremely good, right?
그냥 좋다고.
Yeah, I mean that's all I can say. It's good.
좋은 순간입니다. 캐리아 선수, 퓨지 선수 모두에게. 자, 캐리아 선수 얘기 먼저 해볼게요.
So, Carrier first. Alistar was fantastic. So, what was the reason
원래 알리스타
in terms of picking that Alistar? We didn't really practice it, but during the draft for game number 2, Daft suggested, what about Alistar? And I said, I think it's okay, so he locked it in for me. So Carrier and Daft play a lot of duo solo queue. So do you listen to him well? At first I did, but a couple of months later, now Daft is listening to me. So your Alistar performance actually reminded a lot of people of MetLife's Alistar. I think that's a great praise because even before I started practicing, I've always watched MetLife playing Alistar, so it's a big honor for me. So we have this highlight over here. So you kept your eyes on MF throughout the whole game number 2. We had a really nice comp in game number 2, so I always did my best to cancel the MF ult. Was that easy? Well, I was able to pull it off really well. Music. They just target banned your Lee Sin. Well, I really practiced it a lot, and I'm really confident with my Lee Sin, so I was really proud of myself at that moment. So, some people say Pyosik is not really good at Rek'Sai compared to other champs. Well, that's part of my strategy because I only play Kindred, Lee Sin, and Nidalee. Other people would think that overlook other champions in my champion pool, so that was part of my plan. Quad on mid and Chovy on top. Maybe that might not be familiar with you as a jungler. So in game number 1, Lyra said that DRX went with very teamwork-wise draft. So after losing that game number 2, DRX started to go with the comfort picks and the picks they're really good at, and that is really true. He got it right. I'm not fully satisfied, but it wasn't bad at all. I think we won with our mechanics. In the pick and ban phase, you hovered Kindred. Are we gonna see it soon? Whenever I see the Kindred angle, I'm always ready. So you can be excited for surprise Kindred pick. Carrier, you guys are so young with great mechanics. So who was the most nervous player? I think Pyosik. Even before going to bed last night, he was so nervous. What made you so nervous? Coming to the stage or interviewing with me? Maybe every factor? Well, I was just like camping my red and then I felt more comfortable. Well, before I started the game, I was really nervous, but going into game, playing, jungling around my camp made me feel comfortable. So 2 young guns picked up the POG, so what's your goal for the split? Of course, winning LCK, and I want to become the best support of all. You want to be the best support in LCK? Okay. And Pyosik, same. I want to be the best jungler in LCK, and I want to walk the royal road in LCK.
엄청납니다. 저도 어린 시절이 막 생각나기도 하고요.
I can feel the
많이
young spirit from the rookie
정말
player. So
축하드리고요.
once again, congratulations on the
상
win.
많이 받으시길 바라겠습니다.
And this will wrap up the interview with POC Carrier from DRX. I'm gonna pass it back to our caster. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful translation there. Good to hear from the two younger guys on the lineup, getting up on stage in the LCK arena. Too bad that the crowd couldn't come down to support them this time around, but no doubt that the Dragon X members are going to be up there on that MVP, or rather POG stage, I suppose you can call it, a bunch more times.
Yeah.
No doubt on this.
Well, I had a lot of fun being back casting with you here today, Valdez,
good.
and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's games as well. And I just want to say to conclude the night, I love Soraka.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, that's what LS stands for, right? Love
actually
Soraka.
love Soraka, yeah.
Yeah. Love Set,
Exactly.
first pick on blue side.
Yeah, literally set.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally
you know.
Set. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, but it was another 6-game day. What do you think about tomorrow? 6 games?
I have
let me just tell you
Stop.
the games once again.
This is
It's,
my second night in a week ending past midnight. Okay?
Well,
take a
we're
look
getting
at-
close. We're getting very close.
My
Trains are
throat
shutting
is
down.
getting destroyed right now.
Subways are shutting down. We need to get some throat coat for our analysts because God knows that me and Atlas can't do analysis. That would never happen. Freak up on top. You guys see that Dragon X move into that left side column alongside Homolife. That might be a surprise
Tomorrow-
after they take the win.
This is gonna be. I'm thinking it's just gonna be a massive slaughter. Where
Yeah, you
we
think so?
saw what happened in APK's previous series against Sandbox, and I mean Damwon. They're probably just gonna do the same exact thing. So, APK, I think, are the massive underdogs against Damwon, and then the next series of the night. That one is going to be much closer and much more exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to get a lot of questions answered about, well, what did their first series actually mean?
For both of them.
Yeah.
For both the teams, for sure. I mean, Genji looking pretty good. Griffin also, looking better up against a Freak Up. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for us. We will see you tomorrow for more LCK 2020. Until then,